recipients of the Vice President's confidential funds. As in her previous appearances, the person in charge of disbursement is offering no clear explanation.
Pag nakakita, bilat, pagong, pusa, etc. Belat. Okay, belat, same. Magugulat ka, di ba?
Magugulat
Sa
po.
Bisaya. So if you're a normal or average person, papalag ka na naman. Teka muna, Kernel, bakit ganito? Bastusan na to, lokohan to.
Pinireply ko po yon si Colonel La Chica, Your Honor. At ang sagot naman niya sa akin, Ma'am Gina, those are sensitive information. In nature po yon.
No relief from the rains just yet, as 3 weather systems persist, with the Habagat as most predominant. As floods subside, cases in waterborne diseases rise. Leptospirosis, for one, is on an uptick, with one specialty hospital already at capacity. And Senator Loren Legarda extends her medical leave again. Her exact whereabouts and health condition are unknown at this point. Good evening, I'm Ces Orenia Drilon. We begin with more unusual names coming to light as recipients of the Vice President's confidential funds. But what's more telling in today's testimony of former OVP Disbursing Officer Gina Acosta, the powerful role of VP Sara Duterte's former security chief in the handling and handout of such funds. Mobile journalist Merimon Reyes has tonight's big story.
250,000 pesos for Don Piang, 150,000 pesos each for May Pamana and Shane Ngit, while 100,000 pesos each for Antonio Pagong, Timon Andrew Pusa, and Suniso Belat. These were supposed to be the personalities with very interesting names who received Vice President Sara Duterte's confidential funds as presented by the prosecution. Former OVP Special Disbursing Officer Gina Acosta was asked about the acknowledgement receipts for these recipients. She pointed to Security Officer Colonel Dante La Chica. Acosta claims she turned over the confidential funds to La Chica upon the orders of Vice President Duterte. The prosecution then asked if Acosta saw La Chica hand over the money to the recipients, like Pagong, for example.
Hindi ko siya nakita, Your Honor, kasi wala po ako doon sa ground. Siya po ang nag-implement, Your Honor.
Or perhaps Pusa?
Hindi ko po, siya po ang nag-implement.
Acosta insisted she asked La Chica whether the names listed on the receipts were legitimate. And La Chica's alleged answer to her was,
Those are sensitive matters, sensitive operation po, Ma'am Gina. Confidential po yun.
another question which Private Prosecutor Amando Ligutan hoped to find clarity from Acosta: did the disbursement of 125 million pesos in just 11 days raise any red flags? 16 million for safe house rental, 35 million for the purchase of supplies, and 40 million pesos for food and medical aid. Again, Acosta pointed to La Chica. She allegedly asked the VP's most trusted security detail why there were no receipts for the medicines and supplies purchased amounting to another 75 million pesos.
Hindi po ba obligasyon mo protektahan ang bawat sentimo ng pera ng taong bayan? Manifestation, when asked that question, the witness uminom po ng tubig.
Nag-verify po ako kay Security Officer Colonel La Chica, Your Honor. Yun po ang pamamaraan ko. Yun po ang way ko na para malaman ko kung yun po ang pinaggastahan ni Colonel La Chica, Your Honor. Kasi siya po ang may alam. Siya po ang nag-implement sa mga project po sa confidential operation or activities, Your Honor.
Again, Acosta did not have proof the confidential funds were given to La Chica. She claimed to have submitted an accomplishment report, but it's La Chica who'd take the receipts.
Hindi ba ito isang scam o tahasang panlililag sa pera ng
Your
taong
Honor.
bayan?
Not only argumentative, but kindly use appropriate language as well inside this court.
Your Honor, may we move to strike that last question, Your Honor, for being impertinent, Your Honor.
It's very much pertinent.
I tend to agree with counsel for the respondent. The word scam is stricken from the record. It did not come from the witness's mouth.
At one point, Attorney Ligutan also used the term modus operandi because what was allegedly being done with the OVP's confidential funds was also the same system used in the handling of confidential funds in Davao City. Acosta was supposedly the SDO when the now Vice President was still Mayor of Davao City. But Duterte's dispersing officer twice over can't remember how Davao's secret budget was spent.
I will have to recall, Your Honor, kay
Ito yung modus operandi nyo, ibibigay yung pera sa isang security officer, hindi bonded, tsaka babawiin, sinasabi mo, ng pinagbigyan ng pera.
It's misleading because there's no the witness testified that she does not remember.
No? Counsel, we both know modus has a secondary and double meaning. You can always use, is this the standard operating procedure that you followed when you were SDO and under the OVP?
Opo, Your Honor.
Opo.
But when it was the defense team's turn to ask the questions, Acosta was able to reply well.
No notice of suspension issued by the Commission on Audit against you, correct? When you were...
Wala.
And there's no notice of suspension issued against then Mayor Sara Duterte, correct?
Wala po.
Magically, now this witness remembers what happened in Davao. Kanina, when the prosecution was asking her, sabi niya,
Counsel is
hindi niya
testifying,
maalala.
Your Honor.
The prosecution also questioned some of the uses of the OVP's confidential funds, such as tree planting, a spending not allowed in CFs. Acosta explained the secret budget was used for the surveillance conducted before the said activity was done to ensure the safety of Duterte. Attorney Ligutan then asked why, on August 13, the VP was able to participate in a tree planting even without confidential funds.
Hindi ko alam, Your Honor.
Hindi mo alam.
And because this was Acosta's reply to most of the questions asked by the prosecution, Ligutan questioned how she became a special disbursing officer.
Hindi ko alam po, Your Honor, kung bakit ako po ang kinuha ng Vice Presidente as SDO.
Hindi po ba, ma'am, na requirement sa SDO yung pagkakaroon ng common sense?
Anong ibig sabihin, Your Honor?
Oy, napakaklaro ng tanong ko. Pero hindi po ba, bilang SDO, at least naman lang, ma'am, required na yung SDO na pinipili ng isang Vice President, may common sense.
May utak po ako, Your Honor.
Yes, ma'am.
Acosta also admitted that she gave La Chica 500 million pesos in confidential funds from 2022 to 2023, even though he was not a bonded or accountable officer as per rules of the Joint Circular for CFs. SDOs handling confidential funds or money that will be sourced from the government are required to provide a bond in case the money goes missing. In this case, Acosta provided the bond and not La Chica, even though he was the one who disbursed the funds. Kapatid Mobile journalist Mary Monreyes, we are One News.
Gina Acosta, the witness, became emotional when it came for the turn of Senator Judge Amy Marcos to ask questions. In the clarificatory questioning, Marcos asked the witness if Vice President Sara Duterte took, claimed, or personally appropriated a single centavo from confidential funds. Acosta replied in the negative. Her same answer when asked if she corrected or completed spending deficiencies and whether or not the VP knew about the errors. The former OVP SDO's demeanor shifted at this question.
Kumusta yung asawa ninyo na binisita ninyo? Alam ko undergoing treatment sa Davao.
Maganda, ma'am. I'm sorry.
But Acosta was mostly confused than emotional at questioning. This irked some senator judges who were not amused by the witnesses' repetitive answers. Senator Judge Rafi Tulfo asked about the unusual names of the acknowledgement receipts that allegedly received confidential funds. Acosta had fingers pointed at former OVP Security Officer Colonel Raymond Lachica.
Nakakita bilat, pagong, pusa, etc. Belat. Okay, Belat, same. Magugulat ka, di ba?
Magugulat
Hindi sa
po.
Bisaya. So if you're a normal or average person, papalag ka na naman. Teka muna, Kernel, bakit ganito? Bastusan na to, lokohan to.
Ang sagot naman niya sa akin, Ma'am Gina, those are sensitive information, Ma'am Gina. At saka, in nature po yon.
Naging stupido kayo sa ngalan ng isang tinatawag na blind loyalty. Nakapikit kung ano yung sinasabi sa iyo ng nakakataas, sinusunod mo na lang. Stupido ka pa rin, pero in the name of blind loyalty. Would you agree?
Dili ko maintindihan, Your Honor. I'm sorry.
Meantime, Senator Judge Tito Soto inquired about how La Chica managed to disburse money to more than 130 locations across the country in just 11 days. Acosta again responded that she had no knowledge of the operation.
Kaya niya yun, expertise niya 132 areas. In 11 days, siya lang mag-isa, si Colonel La Chica.
Hindi ko yan masabi, Your Honor. Kasi ang alam ko lang, si Colonel La Chica po, ay siya po ang itinalaga na security officer, Your Honor, ng Office of the Vice President. Ay siya po ang aming commanding chief, Your Honor, for the BPSPG, Your Honor.
Ayoko na marinig yung template, Mr. President. Thank you.
Some senators whose names appeared on the acknowledgement receipts for the confidential funds also tried to draw an explanation from Acosta. This includes Senator Risa Ontiveros and Lito Lapid.
Okay lang ba sa inyo na kayo ang mapaparusahan sa desisyon ng iba?
Kasi ako po ang accountable officer, ma'am.
So okay lang po sa inyo, kayo po ang sasalo ng sisi ng iba. Fair ba yon? Kayo po ang mapaparusahan?
Alam ko po, ma'am, na alam po ni Ma'am Vice President Sara Duterte ang ginagawa niya.
Meron din pong sinabi yung prosecutor na may 2 lapid na nando doon. Papasalamat po ako kung totoong lapid yung kamag-anak ko po kasi. Sabi po kasi ng tatay ko, basta lapid kamag-anak ko. Kung hindi, kung alias yun, paano yung pangalan at apelido namin na inalias nyo lang pala, hindi totoong tao?
Your Honor, yung mga documents po na yan ay galing po sa security officer, Your Honor, na si Colonel La Chica, Your Honor. Itinalaga po ni Vice President, Your Honor. Kaya po ako, nag-rely po ako, Your Honor, sa kanya.
And joining us tonight to discuss Day 17 of the impeachment trial is one Sambayan convener or isang Sambayan convener and professor of law, Attorney Howard Calleja. Good evening, Attorney Howie.
Good evening, Ses. Hello, kamusta ka na?
Thank you for coming to the studio.
Of course.
All right, marami akong itatanong about the trillion peso march na mukhang wala nang nangyayari. But let's go first to the impeachment trial today, Day 17. Were you as annoyed as the senators at Gina Acosta?
Well, no, Ses, I've been practicing for how many years? Ayoko na sabihin nilang decades. Pero this is expected from a witness who is hostile, who is prepared not by the prosecution, but obviously prepared by the defense. Tama yung sinabi kanina, narinig natin, Senator, ex-Senate President Tito Soto. It's a template Kahit anong tanong, kahit papanong tanungin, isa lang ang kanyang turo kay La Chica. Isa lang ang kanyang sasabihin, confidential. But you have to remember, Ses, confidential funds does not mean an excuse for you to spend everything. It does not mean an excuse for you not to be accountable for. Parang yun ang gusto niyang palabasin Confidential, so wag mo nang tanungin. Hindi ganon Hindi ganon It's not that way. That's why nga there is the COA guidelines, yung sinasabi niyang 2015 guidelines, for how to spend and how to liquidate and how to report confidential funds. Klaro naman na hindi niya sinusunod. Sad to say, with all of her statements, how can she now excuse herself from criminal liability later on in the Ombudsman and in the Sandigan Bayan?
So, pinain na siya ni Vice President. Pwede ba nating sabihin yun? Sinakripisyo na siya.
Sinakripisyo siya. But she was a willing, sacrificial lamb. Because obviously, with whatever she's saying, alam niya na mali yung ginagawa. And she still played her part. Klarong-klaro naman. Even kung makikita natin her demeanor, even yung ang nagtatanong si Ligutan na sila mismo, naririnig natin, nagbibisaya sila eh. Pero pagkausap niya in defense, hindi nga siya Bisaya, Tagalog.
At saka English.
Oh, may English pa.
Ang mga tanong,
Hindi,
actually.
plus
So I'm sorry, I have to interrupt you there. The defense did not make any attempt to hide. Kasi ang bibilis ng questions, English, and yet,
kaya nga, parang canned ang answers, canned ang questions, canned ang response. And anywhere however you ask, kahit hindi yun yung tanong, ang sagot lang niya is, kahit hindi responsive na sa tanong, pareho yung kanyang sagot. It is because it is implemented by La Chica and its confidential funds. We have to remember, the COA is clear. The Special Disbursement Officer is responsible. Okay. She is confusing disbursement from implementation. And implementation and disbursement are not synonymous. Hindi siya iisa. Magkaibang ibig sabihin nun. At the end of the day, ang responsable dyan si Acosta. Kasi hindi
ba si VP as head of agency?
Yes.
In fairness to her, she also mentioned naman at the instructions of the VP.
Yeah.
So what does that mean? Her statements, do they point to the VP?
Yeah, that is very clear that both are accountable. And sinabi rin ng COA ito that the head and agency cannot escape accountability. So, malinaw yon. So, accountable yung SDO, accountable yung head of agency, at later on, kung mapatunayan na hindi naman dinisburse ng tama ni Acosta, ni La Chica. Kasi nga, ang mabigat na tanong doon, yung tanong ni Presiding Officer Cheese, is he a recipient? Kasi hindi
is he the final recipient?
hindi naman siya yung babayaran eh. Kasi kahit titignan mo doon sa plano, wala nga yung pangalan ni La Chica doon eh. So hindi man siya talaga bibigyan doon. So yun ang tanong, bakit mo binigay doon? At klaro, doon papasok yung sabi mo nga, si VP Sara, because sinabi niya, order ni VP Sara. But as a disbursement...
Consistent naman siya doon.
Yeah, but as a disbursement officer, dapat itanong niya, ma'am, bawal po ito. Ma'am, hindi po ito nasa guidelines. But obviously,
yun na yung gawain nila.
Without admitting na yun yung gawain nila sa Davao, parang lumalabas na sanay siya sa ganitong paraan. Na, yun nga, kasi confidential.
Parang tigatali lang siya ng amounts eh.
Which,
diba? Parang tiga-add lang.
Sadly nga, hindi ganon ang, kaya nga, you have to remember, ang SDO, ang Special Disbursement Officer, is bonded. Kasi kung may mali kang ginawa, o kung meron kang negligence na ginawa, ikaw ay responsible doon sa ginastos mo o doon sa perang pinagkatiwala sa iyo. You have to remember that the burden of proof is on the disbursement officer. Kasi you are accountable. Pinagkatiwalaan ka ng pera. So ngayon, patunayan mo kung saan mo ginastos.
Ngayon, yung sa pagtatanong ni Senator Amy na nakita ba hinawakan ba ni VP yung pera or did she witness any of these things? Hindi. So does that exonerate her?
No, because you have to remember, even the COA, kasi with regards to accountability, COA is a final say. We have to remember that, no? Klaro naman na, even kung ma-recall natin, di ba, nagtanong din si Senator Amy doon sa COA. So di ba ang may responsible dyan, yung Special Disbursement Officer. Ang sabi ng COA, hindi, pati head of agency. Ngayon bumabalik na naman si Senator Amy. Ang sabi niya, di ba hindi hinawakan? So pinapakita niya, hindi nakailam si Senator Amy. Pero ang nakalimutan niya, sabi mo nga, inuulit-ulit naman ni Acosta na ang utos galing kay Senator Amy. At kung talagang ang punto ni Senator Amy si Acosta ang may sala, bakit hindi niya binigyan ng follow-up na since hindi hinawakan niya ni VP Sara, do you agree with me that you are the ultimate responsible? Di dapat binanatan niya ng ganun yung kanyang...
hindi, pinaiyak niya
mali naman yung tanong niyo. Huling tanong niya is,
kamusta ang asawa mo?
Appeal to emotion. Di ba? Kung ganun, kasi di ba logic yan, hindi siya. O sinong responsable? Dapat ganun ang bagsak. Eh hindi, obviously, she was just there to exonerate the VP, which sa tingin natin, at sabi ko nga, she is no longer a neutral judge. She is a judge for the defense, for the VP, which
You can say that
yeah,
there for certain.
for certain, klarong-klaro,
Well,
kitang-kita.
Can you say for certain other senators are for the prosecution because they grill the witness, for instance? Can you say na si the Tulfos?
Hindi.
Tinawag na stupido, di ba? Parang stupido in the name of loyalty.
Yeah, pero hindi ko masasabi naman na lahat ng question nila
Bias.
biased for that. Maybe, to me, I do not also agree to that term being used in court because I don't think such language should be used in court. But let us excuse him for that. Nonetheless, I wouldn't say that the track record of the questioning that has been done for the past 17 days would show or reflect a bias to the other side. I do not call somebody who just asked for clarificatory or who would say who would not go leaning to the Vice President as against the Vice President already. Pero kung titignan mo naman yung Cayetano siblings, si Amy Marcos at saka si Robin Padilla, it's either their questions are in Pluto, out of this world, or talagang sumisentro. Kasi you are not there to destroy the witness eh. You are there to clarify. Ang ginagawa nila, sinisira nila yung witness, which sadly, they have a weak, tawag dito, chance of doing because matitibay yung ebidensya at saka matitibay yung dokumento.
Yan ang
at
paniniwala
yung,
mo.
Well,
So,
yeah.
I'd
So
like,
far,
so far, okay. I'd like to ask you if the prosecution was correct because bringing in a hostile witness is a risk.
Yes.
So did they decide well in the case of Ms. Acosta?
Well, sa akin maganda yung pagkakalatag nila and as far as the prosecution for the hostile witness are concerned. I wouldn't agree maybe in the entirety of how they ask questions because style nila yon. Ako as a litigator, I would have my own style and maybe I would ask some questions differently. But,
Like for instance?
mahirap naman magtanong. Ses, baka sabihin, tinuturuan ko sila.
Sige,
Wag na
sige.
lang ganun because
Okay,
siyempre that's
okay.
their professional.
Alright.
No. But ang ano doon is, kung tama na tinawag, I would agree na dapat tinawag. Kasi pwedeng hindi tinawag ng depensa yan eh. So sa akin that is...
Kasi kumbaga tinuro na niya si VP Sara dun sa hearing.
Dun sa hearing.
But I'd like to ask you, although she could not remember, but this was pointed out by the respondents' lawyers also, na 2023 pa sila nagbigay. Pero yung AOM, napaka-late naman ng COA binigay nung kailan nagka-hearing na sa House.
Well,
that is a question mark for me.
Well, no.
Politics is involved or what
Yeah.
would they have let it slide? Ganyan bang katagal ang COA mag-react? Parang ang tagal naman,
alam mo,
3 taon.
Ses, I have been, kumbaga, lawyering for some congressmen, senators, and some, I mean, in government and even in local government. Makikita mo na yung AOM nila o yung response ng COA. Sometimes, kasi post-audit sila eh. After the fact sila eh.
Yan nga eh.
So, hindi sila,
Takes
they
long.
don't audit during or pre or during. It's a post-audit thing. So talagang most of
Takes
the
time.
time, it takes a year or sometimes even 2 years. Sometimes even the audit, especially in local government, 3 years lang. Minsan tapos na yung term eh. Nag-audit pa. Ganun talaga. I mean, it's not something.
Sana the wheels of government also move faster, no?
Yeah, I agree with that. But sabi ko nga, yan
So it's not a matter of politics, but
hindi
really
politics.
it took time.
Kumbaga hindi, kasi kumbaga kahit sa kunyari sa budget, sasabihin nila, meron ka pang disallowance o meron ka pang AOM nung year ganito. Ito nang, kunyari, pinag-usapan na natin yung budget. So they're still fixing. Kasi pag AOM, you still have a chance to fix
Well,
it.
I recall the COA witnesses saying they're short of staff also.
Well, that's always, palagi sinasabi, short of staff, short of funding. Pero kung nakikita mo, linulustay naman ng 500 million or 600 million
Yun na nga.
from confidential funds na hindi, magsasabi ka, wala ba talagang pera? Wala ba talagang pondo para
Eksakto.
magdagdag ng staff, ng
Yun
tao?
na nga eh. Yun na nga eh. Parang ang dami nating nakikitang nasasayang na pera. Wala pa ako sa flood control, sandali lang.
Pero inaantay ko yung maleta natin, hindi pa dumarating.
Teka, yung meeting with the respondents' lawyers, was that unethical? Kasi kung last week, alam namang nasabina na siya eh. Was that ethical? Can that be questioned?
Sa akin, kasi naman you have to remember, technically she is a respondent's witness. In the same way na the prosecution also has their own witness, you cannot take it away na either side. Yeah, well, I wouldn't say coach. You brief sila. Di ba? Pangit naman na kino-coach. Pero sad to say,
obviously, coach.
With this answer, hindi siya. Kasi kung makikita mo yung mga previous testimony, diretso yung sagot eh. Klaro. At saka kung may tanong, may sagot. Ito, kahit anong tanong, isa lang yung sagot. So, canned nga yung
Tsaka she never used the word confused in her previous
Yeah.
Biglang, I'm confused.
Kaya nga. At saka, how can she now say anything different? Pero the point is, yun nga eh, parang, as I said, as Tito Soto would have said, talagang template eh. Sadly, makikita mo, sabi ko nga as a lawyer, as a litigator, kita mo na pag ganyan, if you were the judge, talagang kita mo na this person was coached to say, kahon. Itong kahon lang na ito.
Now, why is the prosecution still weighing La Chica's being summoned, or asking the court for a subpoena for Colonel La Chica?
Well, ako kasi, unlike Acosta, kung iba yung sabihin niya, you have a transcript to say, oy, ito sinabi mo.
Dun sa
Diba?
hearing.
Dun sa hearing.
Meron na siyang kumbaga.
So, you cannot say anything outside of what you already said. No? So, more or less, alam na nila yung testimony ni Acosta. But La Chica is a question mark. You don't know.
Mahirap pag-imbento ng mga pangalan na
but
ano pa bang i-excuse niya?
In a litigation, you do not risk something that you are unaware or unsure or unknown. If I were the one to present it. So, to me, of course, it's something that they have to weigh, they have to study properly.
Okay.
Kasi ano pa ba ang kailangan, sa akin Ses, ano pa ba ang kailangan patunayan na merong lack of public trust, for example, may binigyan ka ng pera, disburse ka ng pera, sinabi na ng COA na illegal and misused and disallowed. Sinabi na ni Acosta na order ni VP Sara.
Kumbaga,
sa akin, solid na yon.
Hindi na kailangan.
Now, it's up to the defense to say na ginastos namin, dito yan. Now,
the burden is on them
the
now.
burden is on them. Kaya nga, why would I present a witness on my side na
Who
hindi
might benefit the other side.
kung hindi nila ilabas yan, hindi ko rin alam. So sa akin, it's something that they have to study carefully.
If you're saying solid na yung case ng prosecution, what is the defense to do? How was their cross-examination earlier?
Kung titingnan mo yung cross-examination nila, para bang ano lang eh. Kasi ipit sila, how can now they discredit the witness? Testigo nga nila yan. Di ba? Technically, you cross-examine.
Kumbaga, they have a very narrow space.
Yeah, you discredit two things, no? I mean, of course, but mainly you discredit the document or the object evidence, and you discredit the credibility of the witness. How can you discredit the evidence? Ebidensya rin nila yon. Acknowledgement receipt din nila yon, di ba? How can you now discredit
tali ang kamay nila.
how can you discredit the witness? Testigo nga nila yun. Kaya nga hostile witness because that is in favor of the defense, not in favor of the prosecution. That's why, if you see it, kaya maiksi lang yung cross nila. At kung titingnan mo, ang galing nung English, parang kahon.
What can you say about the relative youth of the lawyers on the respondent's side?
Well,
is it wala bang gustong mangahas?
Hindi naman.
Okay.
I'm sure there would be lawyers. And you remember, they have a big law firm, Fortune is there, whether or not they would like to present physically or themselves. Now I see Narvasa there at the sidelines there every now and then si Attorney Sheila is there. Whether that is a tactic or that is their strategy, I leave it up to them. But
What do you think of it? How would you assess
ako,
that?
I would look at it as parang they're playing the underdog card. Ako I mean, if you look at it, kasi parang, kung titignan mo, si Vice President Sara is doing the victim and the underdog card. So even by the presentation of their lawyers, I'm not saying that they're not qualified because once you pass the bar, pare-pareho na tayong abogado, we're all qualified. But if you look at experience, titignan na kung tatapatan mo naman si Lorna at saka yung bata or yung si Ligwatan at yung mas bata, this other guy, I think, just passed a few years ago. So, kung titingnan mo, yun nga, I think they're doing the underdog card, parang the victim card at this point in time.
Okay, kasi baka masyadong mukhang on the defensive too much kung malalaking big guns ang ilabas.
Pero kung titignan mo natin, the past two impeachments, talagang battery of lawyers left and right. So, it doesn't really sa akin, kasi sa akin, we should not look at who the lawyers are.
But
I would rather have the audience or the people look what is the evidence presented. Kaya nga ayoko yung nag-awa yung abogado. Wag na natin pag-usapan yun. Pag-usapan natin ano ba yung ebidensyang
extraneous na yun.
Kasi whether or not nag-awa yung abogado or whether or not mas maganda si Lorna dun sa isang abogada, that would not win the case. What would win the case is what the testimony of the witnesses say or did not say, and what the evidence or the documents prove or did not prove.
Okay, now, with the Habagat, we are all suffering from the flood control mess. And, you know, it looks like there's a double standard somehow because all resources are now being given to the impeachment trial, it looks. Well, okay, it's just uppermost
some resources,
in people's minds because every day we, at least from Monday to Wednesday, we hear it. And then the flood control scandal, walang nangyayari. I mean, no big fish yet in jail. It seems stuck, despite what the president has said for 2 SONAs now.
Well,
anong ginagawa ninyo?
Well, put it this way, Ces, we are
Not that you're to blame,
yeah.
but I mean, where is the rage?
We are appreciative that itong flood control ay inopen up ni Presidente, number one. We are appreciative that, let's say, a senator or some senators, some congressmen, contractors has already been in jail.
Walang congressman, meron na ba?
Meron nasa ombudsman, I think.
Ex-congressman.
Meron nasa ombudsman. And then, di ba, I think Bonoan is still in jail, so that's a secretary and some other
but still, there are more.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. On the other side, we want something faster.
Okay.
Kumbaga, we look at it on both sides. We look at it and saying, meron na, pero hindi pa kami kontento kasi may inaantay pa kami at we are hoping that more people go to, face accountability. Not really.
Pero walang indignation tayong, before there were all these marches, wala na bang ganong plano?
Well, put it this way, we had a big march, yung 1 trillion peso march, and a lot of
paano kasi
indignation.
napepresyo ng gobyerno dyan.
Kasi nga, ang problema naman dyan, Ces, sa dami ng grupo natin, because we have groups from left, center, and right.
Hindi kayo magkasundo.
Hindi naman sa magkasundo. Magkasundo kami sa accountability.
Okay.
Kaso, hindi kami pareho sa gustong maabot. For example, may ibang grupo na gusto patalsikin pati o pababain ang gobyernong ito. Pero, paano naman sino naman ang papalit? Hindi naman pwede si Vice President Sara dahil meron siyang impeachment, di ba? So we cannot, anong mangyayari? Kung papababain mo si Presidente, papabain mo si VP Sara, di magkakarevolusyon tayo. May iba naman tao gusto magkaroon na yung mga military naman ang pumasok. So that is another version naman. Extra-constitutional. So ang akin lang, maganda na lahat tayo merong
Just to-
merong clamor, pero ano ba ang end natin? Kasi kung makikita na even in our group chats and our let's say
Kanya-kanyang-
Facebook or Twitters and everything, makikita mo na bakit naman ang gusto natin let's say managot, lahat ng dapat managot.
Oo naman.
Oo, gusto natin 'yon. Agree tayo doon, pero hindi naman natin gusto na pababain si Marcos tapos pupunta si Sara. Di walang nangyari, pareho lang, no? You put a worse person there, no?
Well, but we're just talking about a march or an indignation rally or...
But you have to, that's why I'm saying, we have to police
People
our
will
rank.
not get involved
Yeah,
unless
people, we have to...
Kakaiba-iba yung sinisigaw ninyo doon.
Kaya kung titignan mo, Ses, di ba, merong nasa EDSA, merong nasa Manila, merong nasa Menjola. Kasi iba-iba ang agenda, no? Sana ang agenda natin, accountability lang. Hindi yung agenda na, sabi ko nga, meron isang military takeover. Meron isa gusto pababain si Presidente, papasukin si VP. Meron isa, pareho silang bumaba, magkaroon ng snap election. Ano bang gusto natin? Di ba? Magulo na nga tayo, wag pa nating guluhin.
Okay. So anong gradong mabibigay mo ngayon sa gobyerno sa kanilang paghahabol sa mga... And we're talking like, you know, kaya nga trillion, di ba?
Kasi nasa trillion peso ang...
Nasa trillion peso ang nawaldas na pondo. Can you imagine, ha?
Yeah, but we have to also think, kailan ba nagsimula ito? Sinabi ni Diskaya, nagsimula ito panahon ni Duterte, 2016 nung namayapag sila. So, bakit natin titingnan lang ng 2022? Hindi natin tingnan up to 2026. At saka kami, in Isang Bayan and most of the people in the civil society, sabi ko nga, hindi kami tumitingin flood control. Meron pang DepEd, meron pang tawag dito, Pharmaly, meron pang ibang klaseng, kumbaga we are looking at all issues of government, not only in one. Kumbaga, kasi hindi lang naman flood control ang corruption eh. Maraming klaseng corruption, and even before this administration, maraming corruption.
Yes, but flood control was really just too scandalous. The amounts are too big. So wala pang activity,
so far wala namang activity ngayon na in the sense of
hindi rin tayo makalabas dahil baha o ulan.
In a sense of a march like that, no? Pero continuous naman yung advocacy natin. Katulad, for example, ilan sa grupo namin ang nakatutok sa impeachment? Dahil karamihan dyan, complainant din. Ilan din sa amin ang naging complainant din doon sa ibang mga, kasi yung flood control, we have to look at it localized na. Kasi per area na yan. Hindi naman yan kahit trillion siya. Meron siya, let's say, dito 100 million, dito 50 million,
but
dito 200
we mean the big fish. And baka naman, may mga abogado kayo, wala bang tulungan nyo naman yung ombudsman. Parang nag-atrasa na lahat ng witnesses in the case of the former speaker.
Tumutulong naman kami kay, ang pangalan nito, kay Ombudsman Boying, no? But if you look at kung sinabi mo, nag-atrasan yung kay former speaker, sa amin, hindi nakagulat-gulat yung mga recanting na yan. Marami, I mean, in my practice again, maraming recanting na yan. Pero I give an example, nag-recant si Gutesa. If you ask me, he is a zero balance.
He wasn't supposed, the case should not have depended on the Maleta boys at all.
Yeah, pero kasi yun ang sinasabing, yun ang nagturo kuno, allegedly.
Yeah.
But if you don't have him anymore, sa akin, he's a zero balance witness because anything he says, to me, is not credible anymore. In the same way na yung mga ex-Marines na sinabi nilang may nag-recant na iba. So, kahit mayroon pang natirang sa 10 doon, tapos 5 dito,
But imagine,
sinong paniniwalaan mo
for
ngayon?
the US to cancel his visa, that's telling because they won't do that unless there's some strong evidence.
Yeah, well, sa akin, that depends on them because baka naman merong issue abroad kasi di ba meron daw other things, supposedly.
Properties.
But kasi ako, I'm a lawyer, so I go where the evidence leads me. If the evidence leads me to him, then, or to whoever, why? Why not, di ba? Now, if there's no
tough.
evidence, I'm not somebody to call out a name without evidence.
Wow, we almost consumed half the show. Thank you so much. That was Professor of Law and Isang Bayan convener, Attorney Howard Calleja. You are watching The Big Story on One News. 3 weather systems are now in effect as we speak, including a typhoon. How much rains can we expect? Our weather watch is next. Keep it here.
Para alam kung anong nasa sulod ba. Hindi na sila makadala ng yung mga pang-barel, kutsilyo, safe.
Sabi ng anak ko, magpabili siya ng transparent bag kasi yun na daw ang gagamitin nila sa school. Mas secure at saka for the safety, no, para makita yung laman. Kasi sa mga pangyayari ngayon, yung mga sobrang yung mga lantaran na yung mga shooting. Para makikita kung ano yung nasa loob ng bag.
Some parents there giving their thumbs up to the push for use of transparent bags in schools. In some parts of Cavite, Tacloban, and Davao, these school bags are encouraged to easily check if students are carrying items that can injure or harm others. Now to the weather. Typhoon Obet entered the Philippine area of responsibility this afternoon. It's very far from land though, or more than 1,000 kilometers east-northeast of extreme northern Luzon. Pag-asa does not expect Obet to further intensify into a super typhoon, with the cyclone seen to leave far in the next 12 hours. But this typhoon will enhance the southwest monsoon or the habagat. That means rains pouring over many parts of the country starting Wednesday, August 26, particularly in Zambales, Bataan, and Occidental Mindoro. Pag-asa also predicts maximum amount of rainfall by Thursday up until the weekend.
Wind signal, pero ito pa yung magpapalakas ng southwest monsoon. So, mostly yung mga areas na maapektuhan ng habagat, itong western section ng Luzon and western section po ng Visayas.
Aside from Typhoon Obet and the Habagat, Pag-asa is also monitoring 2 other cyclones outside PAR. The tropical depression that had been Neneng is already moving farther away from the country. While the other, a tropical storm east of central Luzon, has 2 endings. It could merge with Obet or follow the typhoon's track and enter the Philippines as well. And if it does, it will be called by the local name Pilandok. In Pampanga, several flood control projects were damaged following the rains and flooding. In the town of Mexico, a slope protection along Abacan River sustained long and wide cracks after 3 weeks of downpour. Parts of the dike in the area also collapsed while a 100-meter riprap caved in. A contractor hired by the Public Works Department is already doing repairs.
Kasi kung hindi substandard yan, makikita mo yung mga ginagawa ng Hapon. Diba? Hanggang ngayon, kahit kaano kalaki yung tubig, hindi nasisira. Pero yung sa amin dito sa Pampanga, hindi lang sa Pampanga, buong 3rd district na yata, nakita mo yung mga flood control na ginagawa, nasisira talaga. Hindi man umaabot ng isang taon, nasisira na eh.
Tama po yun. 12 mm po yung bakalan standard na 12 mm, tapos yung spacing po niyan, 25 cm. Nasa plano naman po yan eh. Kumpleto po yung bakal kahit sino mag-check up niyan. O puputol ko yung 2 kamay ko pag stop standard yan.
Meantime, President Bongbong Marcos visited some evacuees in Pampanga this morning. He checked on the food distribution, shelter, and health care provided to the affected residents. The chief executive hailed the provincial government's overall response. Marcos also believes the inundation of Central Luzon is not only because of faulty flood control, but due to climate change as well.
I'm satisfied that yung immediate needs ng tao, yung kanilang pagkain, yung kanilang shelter, yung kanilang yung healthcare na dala ng pamahalaan ng national government ay nandyan lahat. Hindi naman tayo nauubusan ng gamit, hindi naman tayo nauubusan ng tulong. Sa patuloy yan, hanggat nangangailangan ng tao, ay binibigyan natin sila lahat ng mga kanilang pangangailangan.
Meantime, the National Kidney and Transplant Institute has imposed a limit on walk-in patients. That's after a rise in leptospirosis cases left the hospital at capacity. At the moment, NKTI has 41 admissions with a bacterial infection, of whom 5 have died. Most leptospirosis cases were moderate to severe. The medical facility has likewise seen a surge in consultations following the recent flooding.
Wala ko ng ingroom sa kay lalaki. So, nagmumotor ako. Siguro yung cause na napasukan ng ang bakterya o ano man. Tapos pag galing ko sa duty, kinaumagahan, bigla akong nilagnat.
Naambunan lang po ako, tapos sabay may baha po siguro, may baha po doon, tapos sabay nabasa po yung paa ko. Siguro may ihinang daga, yung hindi ko na po kaya yung sarili ko. Ninilim na po yung paningin ko. Tapos hindi na po ako mapakali, mainit na yung pakiramdam ko, hindi ko na kaya.
But NKTI clarifies they are not closed yet for both confirmed and suspected leptospirosis cases. Like other DOH hospitals in the country, numbering 30 plus, NKTI has dedicated a fast lane for the disease. And again, healthcare officials remind everyone who waded through flood waters to consult with a specialist, symptoms or no symptoms.
Sa leptospirosis, ang number one kasi na tinatamaan, 3 organs, the kidneys, the liver, and the lungs. Hindi naman porke lumusong ka ngayon, ngayon ka na magkakaroon ng infection. There's what we call an incubation period.
Now, on a much lighter note, memorizing drug names is tough for patients. But a 23-year-old pharmacy graduate is changing the prescription on healthcare education by turning it into a tabletop competition. Mobile journalist Denise Valdesancho with this report.
What if learning about medicine felt more like playing card games? For 23-year-old pharmacy graduate John Vincent Cacho, that question turned into a game. One that makes learning about medicine less intimidating and a lot more fun. The idea started during his pharmacy internship when he saw how some patients, especially the elderly, struggled to remember the names of their medicines.
Yung internship ko lang ay naging catalyst on thinking of how we can improve patient counseling or how we can empower the process of counseling, pero going beyond that.
Instead of another textbook or reviewer, Vincent turned to something far more familiar, a card game.
It's a pharmacy card game designed to teach people with regards to the proper use of medication. So we have mga sakit and we have mga gamot. And then the goal of the game is you'll race with other players, paunahan kayo to eliminate all the symptoms that you have. And then you'll be given yung mga gamot. And then the objective is to match yung mga gamot sa mga sakit.
But behind these colorful cards, Lunas was designed to introduce medicine concepts without making them feel too intimidating.
And ang goal talaga namin is to not make it overwhelming or technical for non-medical people.
What started as an idea during his internship in 2024 took more than 10 months to develop. The team eventually released Lunas in 2025, and after months of testing, events, and word of mouth, the game has now sold around 500 copies. For Vincent, though, the biggest win isn't just the number of boxes sold.
What I can say, one-liner lang is just start. Yun. Because starting out or the first step is always the hardest one. But if you overcome it, then you'll be unstoppable.
Mobile journalist Denise Valdesancho, we are One News.
This is a big story in One News. Where is Senator Loren Legarda? The upper chamber's leadership is not saying, but has approved her extended leave of absence. We have details next.
The big story is back with developments from the Senate, starting with Senator Loren Legarda and her extended medical leave. Senate Secretary Renato Bantug confirmed Legarda will remain on leave until September 2. This is her 4th medical leave following previous absences earlier this month. The NBI said Legarda left for France on August 2. The senator and her son, Batangas Congressman Leandro Levice, face a preliminary investigation over graft and plunder involving alleged ghost solar projects. Meantime, the Sandigan Bayan has allowed detained Senator Jinggoy Estrada to undergo a knee x-ray on Wednesday, August 26. The court said Estrada will leave Payata City Jail at 11 in the morning for his 1 p.m. appointment and return by 3 p.m. on the same day. Estrada has osteoarthritis and joint effusion in both knees, making it difficult for him to walk. Estrada has been detained since June 1 over plunder and graft charges linked to an alleged flood control kickback scheme. And here now are other stories making headlines this Monday from mobile journalist Arles de los Santos.
Motorists will face another round of fuel price hikes starting Tuesday, August 25. The Energy Department has announced gasoline prices will rise by 1 peso per liter, while diesel will be more expensive by 2 pesos and 31 centavos. Kerosene prices will also go up by nearly 1 peso per liter. Energy Secretary Sharon Garin explained what's driving the latest hike in pump costs.
In the past week, prospects for the diplomatic resolution to the U.S.-Iran conflict and the normalization of navigation through the Strait of Hormuz have weakened. Hindi po nag-i-improve.
The contractor handling asphalt works from Guadalupe to Shaw Boulevard on EDSA could face a 50,000 peso fine. That is over the heavy traffic caused by the road work over the weekend. The MMDA shared photos showing the traffic is slowed down from Makati to Mandaluyong. 2 lanes were closed for asphalt repairs as part of the EDSA rehabilitation project following potholes and road damage that emerged after Habagat-induced flooding subsided. The MMDA has coordinated with the DPWH to impose the fine. It said the contractor failed to deploy flagmen to help manage traffic and guide motorists. Meanwhile, DPWH crews also work on pothole repairs over the weekend along the EDSA Santolan flyover, Quezon Avenue Bridge, and roads in Manila, Taguig, and Valenzuela. The Education Department is resetting the nationwide active threatened school safety drill to the first week of September. That's because of inclement weather, which has led to class suspensions in still flooded areas. DepEd will also use the time of postponement to extend its consultation with medical and psychological experts. The nationwide live shooter drill was supposed to be held this week in response to recent violent incidents in campuses. DepEd is pushing for the exercise to be age-appropriate and trauma-informed, focusing on basic protection, communication, and recovery. The school officials are directed to strictly avoid graphic or hyper-realistic scenarios that cause distress. They likewise need to guarantee the availability of psychological first aid and contingency plan support. And PAGCOR expects its total income to fall around 87 billion pesos this year from 106 billion pesos in 2025. The State Gaming Operators Chief, Alejandro Tenco, said the decline has been driven by the delinking of e-wallets from online gambling platforms. He said gaming activity fell by about 40% after the delinking. Online gambling picked up early this year, but Tenco said the Middle East crisis has muted the recovery. Still, the PAGCOR chief expects gaming to pick up as the peak season approaches, potentially helping recover the weak first half revenue. Kapatid Arles de los Santos, we are One News.
And finally, for our big picture tonight, it's Filipina tennis star Alex Ayala again, this time with a new career high. The 21-year-old has risen to number 18 in the WTA rankings ahead of the US Open. This is Ayala's highest ranking yet, coming after her breakthrough WTA Tour title in Washington, D.C. And now Alex heads back to the court for the US Open, starting in mixed doubles with Canadian world number 4 Felix Auger-Aliassime And they will face tennis power couple Elina Svitolina and Gail Monfils in the first round. And those are the big stories this Monday, August 24. I'm Ces Orenia Drilon. Kapatid, we are One News, your side all the time. Have a good night.